How's it going, you bunch of weirdos? And in today's video, because it's been such a big point of discussion in my content over the last couple of weeks, I'm going to give you what I believe are the main red flags that you need to look out for when it comes to coaching. As you'll know, there are an infinite amount of online coaches and personal trainers and social media influencers all telling you what you need to be doing and what you shouldn't be doing, and obviously a lot of them are trying to get your hard-earned money. So I'm just basically going to tell you certain things that they might do or say they should be setting off your bullshit meter. And at the end, I'm going to give you the one main thing that you should use to determine if they are a good coach or not. For those of you that don't know, I've been coaching for a good number of years now, and the reason I'm confident in telling you the things that I'm about to tell you is because I've got a big web page full of results, as well as everything that I'm posting daily on my social media, of people getting significantly stronger and making big improvements to their physique. So hopefully that shows you that I do know what I'm talking about. And by the way, see that results page? That's actually not up to date, and there's plenty more missing still to go on there, not to mention the clients that don't want to be posted. So that brings me on to the first red flag, and unfortunately I'm about to contradict what I just done there, and that's when someone has to tell you how good a coach that they are. Like, when you're a coach, you shouldn't have to just constantly tell people, I'm a good coach, I get results, I do this. You should just be able to show it, and I understand that I've kind of just said that there just now, but that's just to give me a wee bit of credibility when I'm talking in the video. For those of you that know me and have followed me for a while, you'll know that I very, very rarely ever actually tell you how good a coach that I am, and I just like to let my results do the talking. And I like to think that I do show off enough results that it does signify that I'm a not bad coach. But when you get people who are just telling you how good a coach they are without ever actually showing you, that's probably a bit of a problem. And the second red flag is a continuation along from that, and that's when a coach doesn't show off any results that he's supposedly getting. I guarantee you that you've got a coach on Instagram who you know is constantly talking about his team's results and getting this results, but they don't ever actually post anything. Their page is just full of fitness tips and reels. There's very, very few client results. Again, when you're a good coach, you can talk and tell people what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing, and that's all well and good, but you've got to back it up with, here's the cold, hard fact of the matter, that what I'm telling you is working. Obviously, as a coach, your primary number one thing is getting your client results, and if you're just on the internet talking about all the things you should or shouldn't be doing without ever actually showing, here's a tangible result with all these things I'm telling you, they're probably not got a fucking clue what they're doing if they can't pull any results out their arse to save themselves. And that obviously goes for social media influencers as well, who aren't strictly coaches but sell programs and all that stuff. It's still the same principle. They're still telling you things for you to believe, so you need to pay them for their services, which in this case is probably programs. If they can't say, here's a bunch of people that have used my program and got my results, then the program is probably wank. Now, going into the content of what the coaches are actually saying, if you find a coach who's constantly chopping and changing their tact when it comes to training, then they've probably not got a fucking clue what they're doing. If you're putting yourself out there to take people's hard-earned money for coaching, you should have some fucking solid principles that you abide by, that you believe this is how you should train, this is how you diet, and this is how you get results. If they don't have those firm principles and they're just chopping and changing, and one minute they're telling you you need to bulk, and then the next minute they're telling you you shouldn't bulk at all, or they say the main exercise you need to do to build your leg is back squats, and then 3 weeks later they say, oh no, it should be fucking leg press. They've just not got a clue what they're doing. I'd like to think that if you followed me from day one, you realise that my core principles of what I tell you need to do to get stronger and get in shape haven't shifted. Yes, there's some specific that's changed, and obviously when it comes to my actual coaching delivery, there's a few wee things that I have changed my view on as I've got a little bit more evidence behind me, as you should do when you're trying to learn and improve, and not just what you think on day one is what you then think for the rest of your life. But it's only really the semantics and the really minor details that I've maybe made tweaks to. My whole general outlook on training hasn't changed, and that's what's been producing results from day one. So if you find a coach that's just chopping and changing, then fuck them. And again, because I'm just so good at linking these things together, the fourth red flag would be when they're just jumping on trends. A lot of the time it'll be like the new trendy exercise that comes out that everybody starts doing. It was reverse-handed back squats for a while. I went to like cable chest press for a while, and there's one that's been going about just now that I actually can't remember off the top of my head. But if they're just seeing shite online and then just saying, oh, just go and do that, then they've not got an actual clue what exercise they think are the best. So again, just get them in the bin. And while I'm rambling on here, don't forget that my coaching inquiry form is in the description below if you are actually interested in a coach that gets results. I'm not very good at keeping my results up to date on YouTube, on the community section. I've posted a few on there, but go on to the website and you can see them all, or you can go and follow me on Instagram, which is also linked below, and you'll see see all the ongoing results that I post on my stories and on my feed, and there's already a backlog of results up the top of the page. And obviously if that looks like the kind of results that you would quite like, then you can just shoot me a message on there or just fill out the form below. Another way that you can tell a shite coach from a mile away is that when they use the most overcomplicated terminology for no apparent reason. What they're doing here is to use the most complicated words that they can think of to make themselves sound smarter, so you think that you know what they're talking about. They'll use all the fucking technical jargon under the sun, and a lot of people buy into that and think, oh, that sounds really intelligent, they must know what they're talking about. And most of the time, because people just don't understand what they're saying, they just have no choice but to agree with it. You need to think in science, but talk in the most layman's terms possible so everybody can understand. So coaches using over-complicated technical jargon, bag of shite. And if they're the type of coach that uses overcomplicated terminology, they're almost going to be guaranteed to be the next type of coach I'm going to talk about, which is the coaches that all they fucking do is quote science without any of their actual own evidence. It's the whole Jeff Nippard thing. Here's a study that backs up this point I'm making. Not here's a study that says something, and to back that study up, here's my own evidence I've got here with my own clients that proves it right. It's just, oh, the study says it, so it must be true. I don't care what anybody says. You can read as much studies as you want. You need to form your own evidence. And it could be the best study in the world, and it could be the most accurate study in the world. But it means absolutely fuck all to you until you take the things from that study and put it in application with your own clients, so you can see what happens with your own eyes and process it within your own brain. If you get a coach that says here's a study and here's information, so that's right, I'm sorry, but it's pish coaching. Anything I've ever told you to do or not do, yes, there's an element of actual technical science to it, but I'm only going to be confident in telling you that it works or doesn't work based on what I've seen with my own evidence. My own evidence is more valuable than any fucking study, and it's not because I've got the best evidence in the world. This is going into a different conversation, but so many of these studies are so misleading in terms of how they're conducted, and are just not realistic when you're putting them in real terms. So any of the little textbook freaks, they can get the fuck as well. And the last red flag is just when you get a coach that constantly contradicts himself. I've followed loads of people online that say certain things and can actually make a level of sense, but then down the line they start to say something else that contradicts what they actually said in the first place. And it's clear that they're just chopping and changing, or trying to jump on a trend, or they're trying to copy somebody else that said the same thing, and effectively they're just saying stuff for the sake of it to make them sound intelligent or tell you what you want to hear, and just put out stuff for the sake of it. And I'm almost going to render this video totally useless, because see, at the end of the day, if a coach is doing some of the traits that I've mentioned here, or even if they're not, only way to know if they are a good coach, just go look at the results. Strip away all the noise and their presentation and everything that they say. The only single thing you need to look at is, are they getting results? If they are banging results out left, right and centre, then they're quite clearly talking a level of sense. That's it. Simple. All you need to do. I understand in the nature of posting online and stuff, it's not just going to be pure client results that they post every day on their Instagram feeds or whatever, and you do obviously have to build a level of trust with what they're saying, and obviously hoping that it makes sense and it's good information. Unless all that information they're giving you is to translate into results, then they're pish. If they're posting results, you can probably trust that what they're saying is correct. I'll leave the video there. Obviously I could go more into the certain things that they say and don't say in the specifics, and my favourite one's probably when a coach posts a before and after of a drug-free person who's clearly started taking drugs, and then try and prove that as a brilliant results. But anyway, that's just another one of my fucking steroid rants. But those are just the general things that coaches may do that you need to keep an eye out for. I'll leave it at that. Free cool shits down below. Catch you in the next one.